Because you don't do it funny. You just do it retardedly.
Yeah, Alan, you just say things the wrong way all the time, brother.
Seriously? Fuck
Yes.
both y'all.
What did I do?
Oh, when you said
You
seriously, I
literally
thought
just
you
finished insulting me.
legit when
I was just telling the truth.
Oh, fuck you. I thought you
Yeah,
were
I'm
fucking
sorry,
take
Jesus.
to get away with that shit.
My goodness gracious. I ain't gotta
Nobody
do
likes
it.
you. Because it's
Why?
you.
and you are a bitch.
Anyway,
Yes.
how you guys doing today? It's not the Double Toast
Terrible.
Show. No, we're not doing it for Double Toast. We're doing this for us. The Chat Tag. We're actually
We
doing
are?
something now. Yeah, it's like our own show finally. I can't
We have a
believe it.
show?
Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
when?
I'm so happy.
I
Anyways,
thought we just come in here every week and just fuck with people.
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't really change anything we're doing right now. No, we're still be fucking with people. We're gonna be an asshole. But anyways, guys, how you guys doing today?
Alan's time to gate. Bend over.
Okay,
What?
man, if you you picked the worst thing to interrupt for, brother. You just
No, I
like
don't. I picked the cream de la cream.
no, because you
channel.
actually stopped too. You're just like, hey, Alan, but it's like what? What the hell was that even for? What were you trying to
Hey,
go for?
sometimes you don't got confidence.
God damn. Ryan Waters saying, can't wait for the Chat Tag ripoff. Talk Destroy. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I
Hawk
get it.
destroy what?
Okay, it's not the best thing that he's.
I was just about to make a joke that almost got me in trouble.
Yeah, no, let's not do that because you did that last time too.
Yeah.
I mean, to fucking talk to you about that shit. Goddamn. Anyways, yo, hey, Austin saying a bad joke with the Chat Tag. That never happens. Oh, no, don't worry, it happens. I'll do it about 20 fucking times. But anyways, how you guys doing? Yeah, so 8-Bit Crumbs already happened today. Saturday shows. I forgot actually that they do early shows, but then again, I was busy playing Resident Evil 3 and having a good old time. I know Alan was hanging out watching movies and whatnot, and Ganja was ganjaing.
Dodging up a storm.
So since I was already talking to Alan about his day and everything, I'm going to ask you, just to be as natural and authentic as we possibly can, how has your day been, Ganja Guru?
My day's been fine, man. I'm having a good time. You know, I just got Alan to try to gape his asshole, doing the show. I did some other stuff later. I got another D&D session going soon. I'm having a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, ignore the gaping of the asshole, everybody. Jed Jackson, how
Yeah,
you doing?
Don't ignore the
Person,
gaping
you?
asshole.
We're doing stuff. Jet stuff. You know, the usual.
The weird ass shit that she doesn't really talk about.
Yeah. Ryan saying Ganja with the win. Nasanek saying, nice, what you playing as, Ganja? Well, so someone else gives a shit about Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm going to shut myself up.
I mostly play rogues. Those are my specialties. It's not because like rogue gets to be like console and stuff. I like the character dynamics because with rogues, you could play a little bit of a balance in combat. You could be up front and attack people as well as in the shadows and attack people from a distance. So it's the most balanced play for me. So I could do a little bit of everything.
You sure you're not picking this person because he just looks cool?
No, because if you really want to be like picking people that look cool, you automatically go for like sorcerer or fucking warrior. People that get
Sword
more better
fighter.
equipment. Yeah, people that get like better equipment much easier in the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like me, I got like a deck of cards.
Okay. Well, shit.
But and one of the good things about tabletop is because it's like a lot of it's imagination. I can do whatever I want with those cards. Like let's say I go to a marketplace, I could probably win some money there, or I can distract the enemy with those cards. I can still use them, but it's not like someone who plays warrior and then gets like a giant golden and crescent shield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's saying what subclass? I think it says subclass. I was like, what the hell is that? But no, subclass.
I don't have one yet. I'm like level 2.
Okay. But yeah, I'm looking at these still. God, look how fucking crazily descriptive this shit is, man. Like, just looking over here, Bounty Hunter has all this shit. Like, dude, you don't have to explain Bounty Hunter to this extent. Just say Bounty Hunter. You know what I mean? But then again, I guess...
Yeah, Bounty Hunter could mean a thing. Are you Bounty
All right,
Hunter with
'cause,
gun? You know?
Because that one looks like it's a D&D for Star Wars. So what they do is to increase the playability is you'll get like a major class, which is like warrior or some shit. But then there's like subclasses you can follow if you want, like warrior that's up into straight up battle, a warrior that likes to do a little bit of magic, a warrior that likes to do a little bit from the distance. They give you a little variation so you got more chances to play with your character.
Okay, well, shit, man. No, that's pretty cool. I actually do think that some of those things, cause I used to judge it, even up to Las Vegas. Like when we first went over there, and Solar was talking about doing these shows. I was like, "Oh, great! Fucking Solar is just a big ass fucking nerd. It's gonna be funny to make fun of him." But you can't tell he's into it as you talk to him, and then like he explains it, and it's like, dude, I want to play it. Like it's so fucking insanely descriptive and just. I don't know. I feel like I would have a great time playing it. But yeah, if you guys ever want to like showcase your guys' stuff and you play D&D and whatnot, share with us. I'm pretty sure Ganja for sure would give a shit. I think Alan would probably care a lot about what you guys do. Yeah, you know what I mean? And hopefully everybody else in the chat can actually make up their own thing and like play with each other, you know what I mean? Be cool as fuck. Ryan Sansaw gave me one of the figures while in LA. Holy shit, he's giving out figures. I wish I would have got one. God damn it, son of a bitch. Matthew saying, what's up, Nick? Hey, how you doing, man? I see you got a little typo over there, but it's okay. You know, we got somebody over here, Alan, who's always typoing.
He'll never forgive you.
Yeah. But yeah, man, so here's the thing. We're going to be talking about a couple of topics and whatnot. We're going to make this show kind of short because I am watching an empty fucking arena WrestleMania that I really want to continue watching. And then as well as I just want to get into the After Hours.
Wait, WrestleMania is still going on?
Yeah, tonight and tomorrow.
Until Vince dies.
Pretty much. And well, it's
There's-
fucking way more than that.
There's a social distancing and a quarantine. Like, what?
That won't stop.
Well, no,
Vince
but there's no
McMahon.
people at the place. It got like... And then
How is it the greatest show ever if there's no one to watch the show?
Oh, wait. I mean, doesn't that happen with like tons of TV and movies and shit? Like...
I guess, but like wrestling's like a live performance. It's like you tell them like, "Yo, man, they're still doing stand up without the audience." So maybe like 2 people could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're way past that in a sense because it's like, yeah, I mean, everyone feels that way, but I will say like 311, which is a band I used to like way back in early 2000s, they just did like a little concert on Facebook because of the COVID-19 thingy, and like there's nobody there, and it was great. I don't have a camera trying to show the crowd, oh my god, I like this song.
Yeah,
oh
but,
my
but
god.
with a concert, they're only doing it once. Like almost any show or movie that's in production, hell, even video game that's in production, has just said, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna have everyone go home, so that even sports, like sports, is basically the closest comparison to wrestling. They need a lot. I mean, they always do it in front of a live audience, and they're always doing shit with a bunch of people on the field, and even they basically canceled every season. So it's like, it's literally the only entertainment in that genre that's coming out is wrestling. Like
Well,
no one's
wrestling
doing
is
anything
always,
else.
like,
Austin
UFC
says they're
is-
gonna use cutout audience. So like those old PS2 games.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
They
one thing we're
should.
going to be doing, though, is well, just like the Sony PlayStation conference.
Yeah.
But one big thing to bring up as far as that stuff goes, because like football, there's like teams of 20 versus 20 or whatever the fuck, right? Like the linebackers, quarterback, and basketball, same thing. So just by mathematics, like you're going to have more than 10 people per game. So you can never do it. With wrestling, there's 2 people plus 2 cameramen plus 2 commentators. Treat it like a SmackDown versus Raw video game. In the middle of 2000, like the mid 2000s, whatever.
Yeah,
That's
but
what we
like
call it because
the,
like
the whole thing
2010s
about the number, it's like they're trying to limit the number so you don't have like fucking 80 people in a room. But at this point, if it was at the CDC, they'd be like, yeah, no gatherings at all, just to protect people. Because like, yeah, the number limits it so that you limit the spread. That's why you try to limit under 50 people, because you want to stop the spread. But they want to make it so that no one's really interacting, just so that nobody really catches it. You're still talking about 10, but you still talk about more than 2 people in a fucking room, and it's like, yeah, don't you like the same people?
If the stores open up and there's like 40 people, come on, man.
Those are essential,
Well,
though.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's certain places that like allow churches to still have their like religious gatherings,
Oh, don't get me
and
started.
that's
on
like
fucking
50
churches.
plus people. I'm surprised like Vince didn't find a way to like get wrestlers like just designate like essential workers.
Like
Well, I had a
fucking
death in the family yesterday that basically that they can't have a funeral. Like the dude was actually in the
Yeah.
war and whatnot, and some of these guys, they die almost happy because they're like, hey man, like at least we're gonna have this really cool funeral. They're gonna have the 21 gun salute, blah blah blah, all this crazy shit. And this dude was robbed of that honor, and he's just gonna go be buried with like maybe 2 people because of the COVID thing. So it's like, yeah, I mean these things get in the way, but it's like I think just that number 10, that should be a thing that's like, okay, don't surpass that, but like try to bring as many
but
people close to that as possible.
that's the thing. Like I think like would it be the worst thing in the world if wrestling took a fucking 2-month break? Like for to make sure the wrestlers could, I don't know, maybe heal, relax, and not have to be at risk for this kind of stuff. Because like grocery stores, they try to limit the amount of people in there, but a grocery store is an essential service. Churches, churches don't give a fuck about the people they never have. It's always been about just money or just fucking showmanship. That's always been with churches. But it's like, yeah, give the wrestlers a break. Like, fucking take some time off. Is it really gonna kill you to not do a couple shows for a month?
Well, let me ask you this: would it kill you guys to not have video games for 2 years? Like,
I
you know
mean,
what Like,
shit. How
like,
many games got delayed like this year alone?
Yeah, but it's delayed because they're still working. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
They're
It's just
not.
like,
They're
business
not. Like,
continues on.
All right, in this hypothetical, do I get to play like the classic still?
No, yeah, they've already made.
All right,
and-
'cause I
video
don't know
games
if
is-
this- I don't know if this hypothetical can take away all games. Like I can't play nothing. But if
But
it's
Nick-
just new stuff, I could play that. I'm
And
good.
plus, Nick, a lot of that stuff, like you can't. Okay. Is The Rock gonna do wrestling from home? Because I mean, most people can make video games from home. They just need a
Alan,
computer.
They are doing that. You just that's why I want to move on from this because like you guys, no offense, you guys don't know anything about that stuff, but like yeah, they actually are like doing wrestling from home too. Like that's what's crazy about it. It's like like. And business still continues on. It's like Netflix has movies that are on there forever, but W Network, when people spend $10 a month, like you can't, like you have to give them content. Like there has to be something on there because that's what they pay for. So then they made it free, but there's still like there's all these people that sponsors all this stuff. Like it's continual. That's the best thing. It's one of those things that's like it was the best thing about wrestling. Now it's becoming the worst thing about wrestling because the best thing about it was that there's no seasons, there's no seasonal like taking off, whatever the fuck. It keeps going forever, and they get all these arenas and all these sponsors ahead of time for all this stuff, and they have to like meet those requirements to do those things. If not, the entire business will crumble and fail, and there'll be tons of people that this big thing that they love doing, this big passion is gone. With WrestleMania, it's not even live right now. Basically what they did was per day they would have like maybe 6 maybe 8 wrestlers go and film it ahead of time, kind of like how they do like a Walking Dead or a Game of Thrones or whatever. It's treating itself like an actual show versus like a sports event. That's the cool thing about this, that it is fake wrestling that can be filmed ahead of time, do promos backstage, do them from your house. Undertaker's probably gonna be at his house. Like that's he ain't gonna be in an arena for this whole WrestleMania thing. So it's like those things, I think that they're totally cool. With NBA, I'm pretty sure if the number was, hey, you can have 30 guys in here, NBA would completely still have their fucking NBA games. Same thing with football. I mean, can you imagine a world without football? If this shit continues on, like, towards, like, the preseason, NFL's going to be like, dude, listen, we're going to do football. Okay? We can't stop this shit.
They probably, I don't know, man. Like, the guidelines have been pretty strict, and they're used to having off seasons anyway, so it's like it's just going to be longer off season.
Honestly, it's just as how long as people can hold the quarantine. Honestly, people in Denver have been fucking up. I've been seeing like photos like 20 plus people on the park still hanging close together and doing football games. So at this point, if it's either going to slow down or get worse. I'm not an expert in any kind of pandemic, so I don't really fucking know. But honestly, like, keep doing the social distance because you don't want to get this worse to where it's like Florida where they're just people stay the fuck home or they'll arrest you.
It's less of it to get worse is that if you don't have the social distancing, it's just going to go on longer. The whole reason we're doing that and essentially stopping any gatherings at this point is so that if there's one person sick, you're not getting 20 people sick, so that's 20 new cases. You're like, oh, you're sick, so you'll self-isolate. Maybe, hey, maybe unfortunately get your family sick, but that's 5 people versus 10, 20, 30, whatever the fuck. So that's why that's why the fucking beach in Florida had like hundreds of cases, because those people are fucking stupid, because one person gets it and you're that close. I don't know, I guess it travels in the water as well. And it's like, hey, that's a huge fucking problem, which means it's going to be longer before we know whether or not it's okay to go back. At this point, I don't think anyone knows when it's going to be okay to go back. I'm thinking May.
Yeah, Austin saying we need to call Carlos a virus expert. No, he's not.
Who?
That's the biggest thing. So, because people are saying that, but this boy went on Facebook stream, said he went to HEB, which is like, a pretty local, not too local, but it's basically a big supermarket for Austinites and whatnot. And he goes over there, and apparently he was mad because someone gave him a dirty look because he coughed. And
yeah.
and he has the corona. So, like.
I got a question. All right, you coughed, and people gave you a dirty look, right? Now, did you cough normally, like when people cough into their sleeve? Nope. Or hell, I even give you this one. You cough to your hands, because that's old school. People still used to that shit. Or did you just go, in the middle of our market with your mouth wide open and no cover
he's holding
whatsoever?
a fucking tomato.
And then either way,
you're holding your groceries.
And even if he's doing that, like, I understand you can't control it. Sometimes coughs, especially if you're sick. Like, yeah, of course. And who knows how bad this corona thing is. But it's like, dude, Instacart would have got you the food. Instacart still works, by the way. That works for every single state.
Do they? I thought they went on a strike.
I think the strike's over now. I think after Wednesday they had negotiated already.
Yeah, and then the biggest thing too is like to be surprised that someone give you a dirty look. Like, dude, if you're gonna cough, you're gonna get dirty looks. Just deal with it. But to make a live Facebook live stream all crazy and Puerto Rican raged out, like, oh man, I can't believe you fucking did that, dude.
I can't believe during a pandemic someone gave me a dirty look for coughing.
Yeah, like I can't believe you almost killed somebody, Carlos. Dude.
I can't believe you're sick and still going out.
Yeah, there's options. Instacart. It costs $4 extra, brother. And then look, I'll take an L. Maybe it's a lot more. But save somebody else's life for $6, okay? Or $10 or whatever it is. It's just, you don't have to go over there, which is great, and they'll bring the fucking food to you. Like, Jesus.
Shit, they won't even have contact with you. They'll drop her at your door and leave like drug dealers.
Yeah, or then, he was at Corey's studio. Like, if you're so comfortable getting so close to Corey, pay him an extra $5 and have him drop some food off. Since you don't care about his fucking health. You know what I mean? Like, something. Sorry. It fucking gets my nerves. Like, when people are like, oh, how dare you.
I even get being worried. I sneeze a fucking lot. Like, that's why I'm glad I'm not going outside, because I sneeze so fucking often. Mm-hmm. It's not a symptom, but, like, yeah, that's going to fucking give me some dirty looks if they hear my loud ass sneezing wherever the fuck I go.
Yeah, and I mean, and then again, it's like you shouldn't be giving dirty looks, but at the same time, let's just be accepting of people who do give dirty looks, because yes, like, they are taking care of their older fucking people in their family, their kids, whatever. It's like
they might be a little racist.
No, like there was a fucking this thing happened.
Why would you give him more ammo by coughing like an asshole?
Yeah.
No, there was a story about this bus driver. Basically, have you heard about this, by the way? Before you even continue on.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he basically, like, in the beginning of this whole coronavirus, when it wasn't that big of a deal, some lady was coughing in the bus, and he told her, "Hey, cover your mouth," and she wouldn't cover her mouth. And I guess he berated her, lost his shit. And granted, there's a lot of people that understand where he's coming from, but lots of people on the internet were basically giving him shit, like, "Hey, how dare you act like that?" And, "Oh, this is why everyone needs to stop freaking out because now we're treating each other like shit. We are a peaceful country."
We've always been doing it, but now it's more prominent.
Yeah, but everyone wants to do this weird thing of like, just think about your other humans out there. Be nice to people. Well, guess what? He fucking died like 2 days ago. It's like, yeah, that's why you tell people to go fuck themselves, man. Because people are out there trying to, you have these weird little like non-spoken rules of fucking like being nice to people. No, sometimes you fucking people need to be told to fuck off. Like, seriously, this is bullshit. Like, coughing in a fucking thing like that. Like, oh man, that drives me fucking crazy. And before the coronavirus thing, everyone does that. There's people who just straight up sneeze into the air while I'm fucking eating right next to them. How many times has happened in a movie theater, for fuck's sake? People being disgusting in the movie theater, not washing their fucking hands. How many times I went to go take a shit or went pee, and a bunch of dudes just fucking walk out and just wipe their hands from the piss and then keep walking out with no soap? Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. Y'all a bunch of fucking nasty motherfuckers out there. But anyways, speaking of the coronavirus, people dying and everything, let's talk about Division 2 because nobody else is.
Why?
Shit, why we gotta talk about Division? We just talked about Division.
Ubisoft doesn't want to talk about the Division.
Yeah. Oh, Alan, no. That was so stupid.
No. Like, they are. Oh my god.
So legit, I might be asking like an easy question. I don't care. Make fun of me all you want. Fuck you. But what's the DPS?
Damage per second.
Okay.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. I thought it was like traffic control or something.
I was gonna ask you. So is it a disc or a cartridge?
No, but apparently they're going to improve their damage per second. Or people that are actually finding weird like augmentations to improve their DPS, which I don't really know the full story about how they're able to do that. But there's always a way to do that with all these games.
But like, if the game allows them to stack the augmentations, why are they being suspended if the game allows them to do that?
No. This is there's probably some bullshit where they're doing like mods and shit. Because it's a shooter, so there's a player versus player zones where they designate on. It's basically their version of a small scale MMO. You have your normal stuff like walking around and shooting random bad guys or doing random quests with your buddies. And then there's this area they usually call it the dark zone, and you go in there and you can fuck up players and take their gear and shit. It's actually probably a really interesting mode, but if you situation have your damage per second and you could just fucking mod it to like do 1,000 or whatever the fuck, you can fuck up random people easily and just steal their shit.
Yeah, but here's the biggest thing about this, because like I understand that people are gonna always want to do that just because like, hey, like I want to enjoy more of this game. I have a fucking life. I have some other shit to do with my fucking time, so I want to be able to experience these things. Well, I mean that neither. But I'm gonna ask the first person I want to ask about this is actually Jet, because here's the thing: Jet gives me shit all the time about cheating in video games. I don't know why, because I just like to enjoy my fucking video games. God damn it! But Jet, I'm gonna ask you if they did something with some of these games where instead of getting like kicked out or being suspended by the online servers, if they had like a section online for people to keep modding and not get in trouble, and just have the mode pretty much tell people that come in like, keep in mind there's mods here. Do you think that'd be okay? Do you think that there's one day something like that can happen?
No, I mean, they already do that in some games, don't they? They make their own servers and whatnot and just have mods on there.
Yeah, like EA games.
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But this is a situation where it's less of a mod and more of they just hack the game, where Ubisoft is a lot of their games have some version of multiplayer, so they have a very strict anti-hacking policy. Like ever since Rainbow Siege, they've just been going hard on anybody that hacks the game, because hey, it's a single player it's an online game. The majority of it is single player / co-op. There is multiplayer aspects of it, and if people are cheating and causing grief, or they're just cheating the game, it's like, yeah, that's gonna look bad on Ubisoft part. Like people when they're hacking the fuck out of Modern Warfare. Like Activision was getting so much shit for that. I don't know if they ever actually fixed the problem.
Yeah, I mean, one thing too that I want to ask you about as well is like, do you feel like do you think?
Oh, he totally did. He totally did time travel in Animal Crossing. He caught him.
Did. Oh no,
What?
fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, I time traveled like a motherfucker in Animal Crossing.
I don't know what that means.
I'll explain that later because it is actually a big point of why I'm. That's like the only bad thing. I
You
can say about the game.
cheating motherfucker.
Oh,
Nick,
no,
like-
that game cheated me. Fuck that
Of
game.
course it
Like,
did.
yeah, I'll explain why later. But here's the biggest thing, though. And by the way, Austin, the only reason why you know that I did that is because you fucking did it. You fucking motherfucker, you. But here's the thing, though. When it comes to this stuff, Jed, I know because this is basically they're exploiting what was already in the game. It's just something that they kind of like misstepped.
Shut up, cheater.
No, but like with that said, though, like, what do you count? How much exploitation do you count as actually being cheating? Because sometimes it's just taking advantage of the game's fuck up.
Stop taking advantage, cheater.
But what, like, so, I mean, it seems like everyone in this call, but me and Ganja really know what the hell, like, what exactly is the time traveling, I guess, exploit?
So here's the thing. When you buy a game, because like I'm a big cell phone gamer, I love mobile gaming. But the thing is, when I play
Sure.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, whatever you want to call it, we play that game, and they had this thing where you can get a bunch of fruit and go to different islands. But then, like after doing it for like an hour or something, like it turns it off. It's like, hey, come back in 24 hours and we'll give you more. But you know,
Okay.
whatever the fuck. It's a time block, which is fine. But then I buy this game and it has the exact same time block. And to be honest, I'm gonna be straight up. I love Animal Crossing New Horizons, but Pocket Camp, I was more busy with that game than I was with this game because I could keep doing a bunch of shit. This game has a complete like, hey, no more, go play something else, which is also nice. I like that, but give me the ability to say, you know what, I don't want to do that. I want to keep getting stone. I want to keep getting iron. I want like Minecraft. I mean,
Like, you have to go to bed or something?
no, it just literally you'll try mining stuff and nothing comes out.
So here's the thing. Diaz only knows part of it. The thing is, the time travel thing is basically when since Animal Crossing is like a real time based game, there's certain things that you can't do. Like after a certain amount of time in Animal Crossing, you'll have to wait until the next day. You can literally just go into your system and just change the time
Yeah,
to
just
where
one
it's the
day.
next day, and you'll have very little consequences. Like the most that will probably happen is your whole town is basically covered in weeds, or basically like your favorite villager moved out, or if you participated in the turnip stock market, your turnips would be rotten. And so if you spent like 100,000 on those turnips and you even like put time back a minute, you just lost all that money.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
'Cause I'm try-
yeah, that's basically the glitch. Like if you move back time, then or move forward time, like it's just to like do more stuff. But the thing is, in New Horizons, you can there's actually a way for you to basically do all the stuff that Diaz said you couldn't do before. You just get a Nook Miles ticket, and then you go to the islands, and then you just mine for more stuff.
Yeah, and
Every time you go to a different island,
Yeah,
you
I'm
get more
trying to
shit.
think. I'm trying to think of anything because I play Stardew Valley a lot. I'm trying to think, like, I don't really understand because I haven't played Animal
because you
Crossing.
get to
I'm
go to
probably-
sleep in Stardew Valley and you just wake up like in real life. You wake up like a second later, and then you just keep
Yeah.
going. You just keep playing. It's not a big deal. This
Okay.
game in real life, you gotta wait 24 hours.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, you have to wait like the
That's-
next real life.
Yeah, it's a real time game. Basically, like if it's 10 o'clock where you are now, it's 10 o'clock in the game.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like I'm gonna be
What
busy
if
tomorrow in the
you-
afternoon. I want to play now. I have a
What
free
if you don't
day.
have an internet connection?
Then then that's why I take advantage. of
But
it,
you
'cause
just
I
don't
turn
buy
on
your
my
Switch
internet.
this time.
Yeah, like that's because like what I do
Oh.
is I take off the Switch internet, and then I
Oh,
just Twitch
okay.
time.
That's okay. That's an interesting situation because part of me loves that idea, but I've not played the game, so I don't know how annoying that could be when you actually try to do it.
Well,
I
it's annoying
think
for me
that
because I'm always busy, so it's like I don't have all day to play this game, and I have Saturdays, Sundays free, and I want to play the fuck out of this game because I love it so much, but the game's telling me to stop, and I'm like, well, fuck you, game, I'm gonna play. Like I
It
bought it.
technically doesn't tell you. It technically doesn't tell you to stop. You can actually do all the things that you want to do. You can still mine. You can still fish. Like you're never gonna run out of fish. You're never gonna run out of bugs. What you are basically stopped from doing is like the shops close at like 9 and 10 o'clock p.m. So if you want to buy something or
okay.
sell something, like your stuff for like 20% less than like it would have been, and also you can't buy anything else from the store. But I mean, there's still stuff to do. You can still fish, like catch bugs, talk to some of your neighbors if they're not sleeping. You can still do a whole bunch of that stuff.
I think that like I've seen way worse. That's just something that like is overlooked in the game of just like you changing your time settings. I don't think I would do it just because I kind of like that real world aspect of it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be days where it'd be fucking annoying as hell, but like I do kind of like that real world stuff. And
I'm with Alan. Like my favorite is when they have the real world effect of like, hey, it's raining in your timeline. Guess what? It's raining in game too, bro.
Yeah, that's cool shit.
Like I'm
I
playing
like
Red
it too.
Dead and it's like the most fucking like real life sim shit.
But like what they should do, honestly, like cause I like it too. Like this is one of the things I like about the game. But the thing is like I only have so many rocks in my game. So when I hit them to get fucking ore, and I only get 6 hits. By the way, to take 6 hits is like 40 seconds of gameplay time, like with me touching the controller. So I'm like,
Sure.
damn, I'm already out on this rock. I'm like, okay, let me go get some nuke tickets. And then the nuke tickets cost 2,000 miles, and to get to even 1,000 miles takes about 45 minutes of gameplay on doing shit that doesn't do anything except for just, hey, since you moved your character here, we're going to give you these points, these daily points. And I'm like, all I got to do is just move the time for a second, and then, like, I get to do this. Fuck yeah, I'm going to cheat. I'm sorry, but it's in the game, so fuck it. Like, I'm taking advantage because that's fucked up. It's like, give me the option of, hey, do you want to play this in real time or do you not want to play this in real time? Like, I would have loved that. That would have been so cool. But I'm technically playing a $60 mobile game.
But you're not really punished that much for moving time forward. I mean, you can, like I said before,
I'm not
like
punished.
if you don't want your villagers to move out, if you buy turnips, or so, like if you don't want weeds everywhere, then you can time skip.
I think that'd be fine for me because there's a lot of times it's like, oh, I can only play it for like 40 minutes a day, and as long as I pick the right time, like, oh, I'll do right in the morning and not to do that shit till the next day. Like,
and it's not even a big deal. My whole thing is just like, essentially what we're saying here is that this particular thing that's in this game is something you get in all free games on mobile. So I'm like, look, I like the game. I'm not saying this is terrible, but to charge me $60 and yet you're equivalent to a mobile version of the same product. Why the fuck did I get the $60 game when I have it for free already in my phone and it's the same thing?
Because the mobile version is very less superior than the Switch version, and there's a lot of stuff you can't do in that pod camp that you actually can do in New Horizons. Plus, they've always had the time thing in Animal Crossing from like the first game on the 64.
Okay, and I can see that. I still love the game. I don't want to talk too much shit because I'm gonna sound like a big ass grumpy.
No, that's actually a bigger sell. Like,
what are you gonna say, Alan?
I was gonna say, that's actually a bigger sell that's like that in depth with like random time. Because I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about time traveling mechanic? I'm like, oh, it's actually real time. Like, that must have been so hard to program that fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, it is because the game kind of like sometimes it gets confused with itself. Like, hey, like welcome to this new ability you have, and it's like, no, you told me that before. But because you rewind the time, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy.
Well, that's because you were fucking with the game, yeah.
And then also, too, like, they have this other thing where they have, like, a bank and you get interest for putting stuff in your savings. So, like, that helps out a lot, too. You know what I mean? So, those things get kind of cool. But it gets confusing, too. You gotta make sure to, know your math on that shit because it will fuck things up a little bit or at least get things confused. And then, like what Jet said, too, this whole turnips thing is actually their version of a stock market. And you right away, like...
so mad because it's just a stock of fucking... vegetables. I'm so fucking pissed off.
There's so many puns in that game. It's great.
I almost don't want to get it for the puns.
The puns are amazing.
I almost don't want to fucking do it. But it's like, it's a farming game. And I apparently really like farming games. But fuck puns, man.
It's not a farming game.
Yeah.
There's farming elements.
There's farming elements, yeah. But there's definitely not a farming game. But I mean, I love the game very much. And, Jet will talk all the shit she does. But I'm telling you, like, if you play Minecraft, you get to mine as much as you want. You can play for as far as you would like to play.
You're not playing the game.
I'm just saying.
Right. Wait. How's Animal Crossing not a farming game?
You don't farm.
Yeah. No. Well,
what do you mean you don't farm?
You kind of do farm because you gotta farm up those like.
I mean, if
plants.
you count like planting trees, farming, then that's really the only farming element. But the thing is, like, you don't farm in there. You basically, it's more of a town decorating, like home interior game.
And it's a simulator to a certain extent. Like when it comes.
No, then I just got desold because I thought it was a farming game.
It just depends, like because like for me, like what she said, that it's not a farming game. Like no, that counts as farming. Like you gotta wait 3 actual real life days for your tree to grow. You gotta make sure that certain stuff is sold in certain way. Like I don't know. I feel like it's very like a farmer would love this game, but if you're looking for an adept farming simulator, no, you're not gonna get this. Stardew Valley gives you way more, than fucking Animal Crossing New Horizons, but.
Like I said, I'm going to look deeper into it just to see if this is something I want to play. Because I thought it was like, oh yeah, do a plot of land, plant some shit, sell it there. Like, okay, cool. Like, the shit I love to do.
But Jet, let me ask you this, though. Wouldn't you mind, or would you have a problem with just if they change the whole aspect of that, where you get to just hit the blocks as many times as you want until they break, and then you got to make a new one or whatever the fuck. But, like, wouldn't you want that instead of having to wait a whole ass day? All right.
I mean, no, like, it gets to a point where it's just like, if you go to, like, those islands enough, you're gonna get more iron ore than you'll actually really need, unless you're constantly building furniture, which I'm not. I'm usually fishing or basically catching bugs.
Mm-hmm.
I have way more than I actually need from actually doing those trips. Honestly, no.
Okay, well, shit. She's made up her fucking mind then. God damn it. Trying to win over this fucking idea of taking that off the goddamn game, but it's alright. I'm just going to keep cheating the way I'm cheating because I like to play my shit. But here's the thing, though. With Division doing this, I will say I think that there should be some kind of way at some point, Alan, that they have this, section for people to just go and fucking hack as much as they want and mod as much as they want. Because there is an audience who wants to do that, so if there's a game out there that can actually have a room just for people to do that, I think that'd be really cool. But do you think that will ever happen? Do you think there's a certain franchise that would benefit the most from doing something like that?
Yeah, it's called GTA Online. That's the most unbalanced lobby I've ever fucking seen in my life. I'm gonna walk down the street as this UFO blows up half the town.
Yeah, no, those are pretty cool.
I fucking hated it. Oh, I fucking hate GTA if I was online. It went from like decently unbalanced to I can get it to fuck it. We don't give a shit. It's the most unbalanced thing in the world.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Anyway, so like I said, that's going to be our only fucking video game topic for the day because I was going to bring some other stuff. But you know what, though? It's time to move on to things that are going to be taking up most of this fucking time here. I had to get your guys' opinion on this show, the one that everyone's fucking going crazy about that I'm almost sick of hearing about right now. It's a good old Tiger of the Cane. Tiger Cane.
Right.
Murder, mayhem, and madness over here. So here's the thing about this show. Normally, I would say this is going to be a review, whatever the fuck, but I just want to talk about the show just in general. I'm not even going to give a rating for it. It's really no point to
That cat's head looked bigger than half her body.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Yo, there's some chunky-ass cats in this show.
Oh, it really was. Yeah. This is one of those series where
I'll
I'm like...
fucking kill you without even a second thought.
So,
What?
by the way, when you guys heard about this show, did you feel like you're going to like it right away, or you feel like people are just watching this because of some ironic, like, oh, it's so stupid, that blah, blah, blah. Like, what was your first, like, situation when you heard about this?
When I first heard about it, I thought it was some crazy redneck shit, like the Wild White Virginia Whites, which is a show that Stevie Knoxville, god damn it, Johnny Knoxville actually created, where he followed this Virginia family that was known for their rowdiness and just being like overall like hardcore rednecks.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, this show had kind of a good mystery that picked up like past the first episode. I thought the first episode was just going to be me following this idiot of him abusing animals for like the whole 6 episodes, but no, it had twists and turns, character development I didn't see coming, and as well as a lot of like betrayals that I really did not see coming.
Yeah, man, we'll get into that in a little bit. Because here's the thing: when I first saw this, I thought it was like something like Roar, where I love Roar.
I didn't think I was going to get a sex cult out of this.
Yeah, but no, when I first heard of Roar, I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be just some crazy, like, after 10 minutes, you get sick of seeing the tigers and lions fuck people up, whatever. And I watched that movie and it was like, holy shit! I thought it was gonna be the same thing for people who haven't heard of Roar yet, and this is gonna be like a modernization of the same thing, which it is like that in the first episode. But like you said, man, this show becomes something way more than what was kind of told in the trailer. And this guy Joe Exotic, man, like, this guy's quite the fucking character, dude. I don't think I've ever seen a character in real life as multi-layered as this fucking dude. It's fucking insane. But the big question here, I'm going to start off with Alan, is like, why do you think people are still talking about this? Because it's been out for 3 weeks. So it's like, what is it about this guy Joe Exotic that I actually think people legitimately like this dude?
I don't think they like him. I think he's just, like you said, he's such a weird fucking character. Because, like, me, I actually watched this only a couple days ago just because I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Because, like, people were like, oh, this is so crazy and weird. I'm like, is it, though? Because people love to over-exaggerate things and make it just like, oh, it's so weird and crazy. And then you watch it, it really isn't. And I think people still were over-exaggerating. I still enjoyed it. But, yeah, it's like, it's just such a weird character because it's like, you have this dude that's dealing with these clearly dangerous fucking creatures. Like, tigers are fucking dangerous creatures, people. Like, they will kill you without a second thought. Take everything I've ever said about dinosaurs and apply them to fucking tigers. But it's one of those things where you're just kind of seeing, like, this weird underbelly world of people that are just dealing with this shit. Like, I don't think people knew how much of an extent. People knew, like, oh, yeah, people have tigers and shit. But no one knew how crazy they would be, or somebody that was like, this is a guy's a cartoon character. This guy's a fucking Far Cry villain, but he's, like, in real life. They'll be like, I can't believe this is real. And then them throwing out, like, how much this shit costs. This shit's real. You could do this right now. Like, it's fucking... People are like, yo, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah, Jeb, what was the most enticing thing about this that made you want to keep watching the episodes? Because I would imagine that you weren't fully sold in the first episode, but, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
That bitch Carol Baskin.
Her story was fucking great. Just this feud or whatever. But yeah, you think that's what it was for you? Just entice you to keep watching because to see what's going to happen with those two more?
I just want to know more about like how this dumbass actually, actually planned on killing this fucking woman. It's just like he doesn't look that smart, and he isn't. He really fucking isn't.
That's a problem I had with the I've seen a bunch of documentaries do this, and I really hate when they do. But they'll front load the first episode with like all the like a bunch of crazy highlights, like, oh yeah, this happened, and he's somehow gonna hire to kill her, and then the whole series is like not as much crazy shit until you're like, well, how do we get there? That shit's not till the very end. And the stuff in between, like, there are some crazy moments that they don't spoil, but they spoil a lot of the big shit really early on.
About that. So the other day I brought this up to you about, like, oh, you gotta watch it. And I remember me and Jet kind of had a little bit of an argument because we were like, I said that this, the title of this actually spoils the fucking whole thing. And she said it didn't. But right here, Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness. Right here, I feel like, okay, murder, even though there wasn't technically a murder, spoiler alert, I think that the fact that there was an attempted murder, and everyone, that's. Like
I mean, there was murder.
Yeah,
I mean, it was way beforehand, but
allegedly.
Well, okay, but even murder, mayhem, like that could mean anything to anybody. So it's like, I'm plus honestly, I fucking read the title Tiger King. I'm like, fuck, I don't even remember the fucking subtitle. You have to remind me right now.
Like legit, when I saw it, I thought I was gonna watch like Rednecks. That also like, I thought I was gonna watch like the Sea Shepherd thing. Have y'all ever watched that on like Animal Planet Discovery, that where they go fuck up with illegal poachers that hunt whales and different sea creatures by fucking their boats up with different smells that ruin their equipment or the meat and shit? Mm-hmm. I thought I was gonna see something like that. Like, yeah, I'm a poacher, I'm gay, I do drugs, but I really love these tigers. We have to take care of these tigers. I didn't think it was gonna be like Jackass with animals.
Yeah, that's I didn't have any. All I knew was it had something to do with tigers. That's all I knew because I kept seeing everyone like showing pictures of Joe Exotic. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I just know it's tigers, and I assumed it was Florida. It turns out it's Oklahoma, even though I keep confusing it for Florida.
Well, it's
that's Florida. That's the Florida of the Midwest, next to Wisconsin.
Well, wasn't it Florida as well? Because I remember Carol Baskin.
I think that bitch Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskin, and then Doc Antle is there as well.
Yeah, they're in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, this whole fucking thing was insane, but for me, I think that right away, man, this just shows charisma will win a motherfucker over, because this guy, Joe Exotic, there's parts where I almost feel sorry for him until we get to, like, episode 4, talking about his husbands and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, man, like, Joe Exotic, with him being won over by me so entirely, like, so much, I think that that's kind of insane to think that there's still villains in this fucking story, because I like him so much, yet I'm looking at Carol Baskins. And I'm surprised. I mean, did I miss something? Like, why did she get away with basically being a hypocrite and doing the same thing that he's doing? Because her cats were eating out of this little weird square that was kind of like extended out the fence, and like it looked like it was going to rip their fucking heads off.
All right, so do you want to do this, Alan, or do you want me to do it?
Oh, you goddamn right, I want to do this. It's the fucking PETA defense of how does PETA get away with murdering more animals than almost anybody else, but still get quota? People think they're the good guy. When you're overtly trying to help animals, nobody cares about what happens afterwards. They just care that you did the attempt. It's like the whole thing of going saying, well, Trump sucks. What are you going to do to stop it? Nothing. I just said he sucks. Well, you're a good guy, I guess, because you said he sucks. It's the same thing with PETA and with Carol. It's like the fact that she's attempting to save animals, even though clearly the show shows she's just doing it for fucking attention. It does. The after effect, when she actually manages to rescue an animal, it doesn't fucking matter to her. Hell, I'm sure a lot of them end up fucking dead because they can't really go back to the wild, and she clearly can't take care of them. But it's like people don't see that background shit. I'm sure people didn't know anything about her husband that were fucking volunteering for her services short of this coming out. That's why there are people going, oh, Carol Baskins isn't a bad person. She helps all these tigers. Does she? Or is he just exploiting it for her own fucking attention?
Yeah, and it's weird that people just don't see that because, like, obviously people believed her well enough to think that Joe Exotic is a fucking crazy person for the federal government to get involved too. But then at the same time, it's like these are the same people who he almost like.
Yeah, the feds don't come after you unless you're doing something really illegal.
Like murder for hire.
Yeah, that too. But even beforehand, like, remember they're basically looking at his shit because it was right after he lost not the presidential campaign but the senator campaign. And it was like, dude, like, for one, how'd you get so many people to even vote for you? You know what I mean? Because
he did do really well. I'm surprised he got 20% of the vote.
Yeah, like I know, like that's he lost, he was in last place, but 20% for just being some crazy fucking redneck messing around with tigers, that's amazing. Like I was not expecting that at all. But yeah, man, and it can only happen during a time where fucking Donald Trump's being president. But yeah, man, it's just like this show made politics interesting to me. But my biggest thing is I feel like I think his name was Tyler, one of the husbands he had. I think they should have put more emphasis on that because that's suicide. That happened.
Travis.
Oh,
Travis.
that's there's a scene particularly that happens to that character,
Yeah.
or not with that character, but with somebody else. I'm like, okay, fuck you, cut the camera. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that made me so mad. I'm like, are you really lingering on this shot? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
What makes it real? Because at first you see it and you're like, huh? And then you kind of like wait another 5 seconds. I'm like, oh my god, his reaction. And then it's like the guttural feeling. Like, dude, that I've seen lots of death scenes in shows and movies that got me pretty hard for a character that I only knew for 15 minutes. Like,
That made me so mad because they keep the camera on him and he doesn't know how to process it, and he's just like fucking freaking out because he doesn't know if it's real or not. And I'm like, come on, cut the camera. We like this motherfucker just dealt with one of the most traumatic experiences of probably his entire fucking life. Like, why are you exploiting this motherfucker's pain right now? Fuck y'all.
one thing I was watching this too is like Jet, man. When we were watching, like when they were talking about Joe Exotic's husbands, Jet called it out right away about the fact they might not be gay, and just talking about how crazy it is and how young they looked and everything too.
I'll go gay for some tigers.
But like another thing too about like not only the gayness but just them being with them, it's like
Yeah.
it's fucking strange how young they were.
Yeah, I kept saying over and over, like, that dude looks like he's like early 20s or maybe a teenager. Like, I was getting grossed out. I was like, that dude does not look of legal age. Turns out Joe started talking to him when he was 17.
Well, and then after he died, this is another thing that I didn't notice at first, but like after he died, there was a big emotional thing for like 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later, I swear to God, or was it I think it was 2 months later, he married somebody else who was also extremely young. And it's like,
Yeah, there's a whole cult mentality. Like, Joe was weird, but like he's nothing compared to Doc Antle, where it's like at first like, oh, he's a businessman and he's smart and he's doing all this stuff and everything looks good. I'm like, okay, this looks like this looks like an upgrade. Like you have the freaking broke ass Joe and his broke ass shit, but then you have Doc Antle. I was like, oh, mansions and tigers and all over the
people
world. I'm
call
like,
him
that's kind of
Lord,
cool. And then he's like, yeah, she's been working with me since she was 17. What? Yeah, she's like my partner. Sorry, what? Her 16. Oh, you're the worst one here. Yeah,
And then
her
you
as
find
well.
out like these guys are like in their like late middle 50s to like 60s, and it's just like, ugh.
yeah,
You are a cult leader, aren't you?
But how
And then
do you
the
even
one woman that
cultivate
escapes, that's a cult. I'm like, oh, it's a cult. You're a horrible human being.
But to cultivate that particular audience and have them work for you for free and all this crazy shit, it's like I almost want to study these guys. Not to say that I want to be a piece of shit who like wins you guys over in this call, but it's just kind of like that is really really impressive. Like take away all the crazy shit, but these older dudes are able to just win people over, and I don't think it's just the Tigers. It's like some weird minds, like some I don't want to say like brainwash or whatever the fuck, but it's like, man, like. That's scary how someone's charisma can fucking win people over like that. Like, it's very frightening.
You're because the thing is, and they go more into Joe's side because I guess Joe is just more open than Doc is. But like you see a lot of it where it's like, yeah, oh hey, somebody just got off the bus and they have nowhere to go. Joe's like, I'll give you a place to live, a little bit of money. All you have to do is just all you have to do is just deal with these tigers. And it's like, hey, look how cute these tigers are. They're like, well, tigers are kind of cool. This is a cool, dangerous job. I'm gonna get paid and a place to live.
Now
You're
imagine
gonna
if
say
you
yes.
just got out and you're trying to see your kids, like, yo, yeah, Mom, I just got a new job, working with animals. The kids can come by and see it. It's a dream job for felons, and essentially.
And
Yeah.
that's most of the people he gets. Like everyone he gets there is just fresh out of jail. So it's like, what else are you gonna do? Like, there's no other work. At least here you have a place to stay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm just so kind of like without words of just explaining how fucking crazy this is. But the main thing I want to bring up is the fact that like, do you think it's bad that this is literally the #1 fucking show in the United States on Netflix right now? Because I gotta tell you, Joe Exotic is kind of enjoying this in jail. People are, he's been interviewed. Still.
I don't know how much the homeboy got corona.
Oh well, okay, I don't know if that's true.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it
true.
is.
It is.
Yeah, he got
Fuck.
moved to the Corona area in the prison, if I recall.
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
That
That's-
bitch Carol Bastion
Yeah, I know,
got
right? Yeah, that bitch. Carol gave him the corona. Yeah, 'cause certain things I feel like this too might have been a little bit fake. Like there's a story about how he wanted to get some people in a helicopter drop off snakes inside of her zoo, at the big cat fucking whatever the
He
fuck thing.
he did a poor attempt at assassination. I would not put it like above him to not do something
Well,
like that.
No, because what he wanted to do was he actually sent her snakes in her fucking mail, which I don't know how the fuck he managed to pull that off.
Yeah.
And then during the helicopter ride, he was joking about dropping grenades.
Oh, grenades! I thought he said snakes. Holy shit!
No, it was grenades. Like he's like, I'll pull the pin and drop it.
Fuck. Nah, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, man, it's just I feel like we're almost like giving this dude too much of a spotlight sometimes. I think that this show being that popular, this can only help him. I don't think this is gonna hurt him at all.
Oh yeah, like definitely. Like I'm pretty sure after this whole documentary, people are gonna buy tigers like crazy.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna want to fucking cultivate their own fucking zoos and whatnot.
Because not only that, like hell, the only reason he ran for president or like what was it, governor?
Governor
And something else, basically, it was because he wanted the attention. Like even in the documentary, like they said, like yeah, like it was a big old publicity stunt. Like he wanted the attention, and with this documentary out, he's gonna get a lot of attention.
This isn't the first time that this is done. This isn't even the first time Netflix has done it. This is the third, in a row. Every time. What's up?
No, what other shows did they do? Because I know they did the Ted Bundy thing and then like some other shit.
They did Making a Murderer, which was almost identical situation in which they got a documentary of a dude that was in jail, and they got all this footage at incredible production value. And I believe it was Manitic or it was some city in the States where the police department basically like falsely accused this dude of rape and murder and whatever. And he got out and stuff, and it's like, yeah, he wasn't him. And then he apparently gets sent back in like almost a year later, and it was like the same police department that investigated him, and it was all this bullshit, and everyone's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Everyone's like mad about how the police system was just abusing this one fucking dude. And it's like, yeah, Netflix is able to because they're able to get these weird stories from these bumfuck areas that no one really knows about, but they go into so much detail where they're able to get different points of view from everybody ever that was working, and they're able to just tell these crazy stories that it's like you only hear about randomly on like a random Florida man fucking like website news story. But there's so many of these stories that exist of people doing crazy shit. I mean, do you remember the Fire Festival?
Oh yeah, that was the one right before this. Yeah.
Yeah, they consistently have been doing this, and it only helps them because, like, it gets people like me like, well, okay, everyone's talking about it. I guess I'll watch it. Oh, it was great.
Yeah. So, oh wait, hold on. Matthew's like, hold on, man. What the fuck? 69 is released from prison? I didn't know about that, but holy shit.
Wait, he got out?
I don't know. I mean, because Matthew is a crazy one. you really.
That's how they got Joe Exotic. It was actually 69 that stitched him out.
The biggest question to ask before we get out of here is a big one. I'm gonna put it just to you, right, Alan?
Oh, fuck! I forgot another. Oh, this is a docu-series, so it doesn't count. But when they see us.
Oh, really? That was the same company?
Yeah, Netflix has been killing it with this shit. Like, they're able to get these fucking stories of real people dealing with real bullshit, and it goes viral. Like, people like these stories because you're like, unless you happen to grow up in the neighborhood or grow up in that area, you're never gonna know the full story. You're only gonna hear bits and pieces. Like for the Joe Exotic thing, they show a clip of John Oliver talking about him, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember watching that because I watch his shit all the time, but I forgot it because it was so long ago. So rewatching this, I didn't even remember I even saw this guy prior until this came out. So people don't know the story. So when they see this shit, you're getting a story you would not get unless you happen to be a local.
Yeah, no, exactly. But the biggest question from this show that, I mean, I'm stealing this straight from the show was like, yeah, man, when you watch porn, do you look for big dick or small dick?
I heard that in a comedy skit, so I don't know if that got it from Joe or Joe got it from that dude.
I'm wondering what the fuck does that question mean? You know, no matter what, he could just say, like, if you just answer that, he can call you gay.
Well, no, because you go for the, because you be like, well, little dick, I don't want to see the dick at all. What the fuck you talking about? Then it's like, okay, well, maybe he's straight, but it's to fuck with you because most people are like, what? Nobody, the idea of a shrimp dick, everyone hates. So they're like, of course not. I want the big. Oh wait, it's to fuck with them.
You guys
just to fuck with
think about that when looking for porn. You guys think like, oh hey, I want to see the guy with the big dick and not the small dick or the average size dick.
Well, I don't put it in a filter.
I laughed at that question because he's right because I never thought about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah, I really don't either. Like, I don't know, like.
But if he cares, he might be a little.
But
gay.
Let's tell the truth. What both Joe and Doc Handel was doing is it's funny to call them cults. They're predators. They were predatory behavior. What they were doing is they're finding people that had nothing else going on with their lives, seduce them with drugs, money, and tigers to get sexual favors out of them. And in Joe's case, it was getting men to do it. And it's like, yeah, both those men were sleeping with every woman around because, hey, everyone's sleeping with everyone in those places. And Doc Anna was like, yeah, I'm running this fucking like weird sex fucking cult thing. But at the end of the day, they're both predators. They're both taking advantage. Sure,
and
I mean,
racist.
Yeah, that too.
What's up?
And huge racist.
Yeah, did you see the thing that kind of leaked
Sexually,
after the show came out, Alan?
What's up?
Yeah, Joe Exotic apparently had this video talking. It was like going on like a 40-second rant about how he wants to use the N word and how why are they allowed to say
it wasn't just that. Like he basically during the filming of the show went on anti-black raids the entire time of filming, but they just didn't put it in. Also, he literally had a knife called the N-word, hard R.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put it past him. Like that sounds.
Which I mean, like looking at him, just like I expected as much.
Yeah, my whole thing is
he's
like
in bumfuck nowhere, so yeah.
I would recommend you guys watch this, but at the same time, I would also not recommend to let your love for this show make you start liking Joe Exotic because there's a certain point.
Just remember, they're all terrible people. Look, every single one of them, except for like maybe a few of Joe's workers, but otherwise, like they're all terrible people.
Yeah, even some victims. But go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry.
Joe is the real life dude from Good Time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
He literally just taking advantage of everyone around him. Like at first, it's kind of funny. Like, it's kind of funny when they brought his mom, and I'm like, okay, I officially fucking think you're the worst person on the planet now. And like you're funny. Officially the worst.
But right before that, like, did you feel yourself feeling sorry for him a little bit or no?
A little, because okay, so when I first started the show, I literally started this anti-PETA because I fucking hate PETA. I think they're like one of the worst animal rights organizations on the fucking planet. But the Carol, at first I was like, I kind of am siding with her, not because I think he's abusing it, but because the idea that people should be allowed to just have these fucking wild, vicious animals just anywhere that are around people, kids especially, you shouldn't have that. Like that should not be a thing. You should not be keeping these wild animals like outside of a proper fucking facility that people aren't consistently petting and could possibly get hurt. So I'm kind of on your side. But then as it went on, I'm like, wait, Carol, you're just doing this for the attention. Oh, you might have killed your husband. Oh my god. Yeah. Like it just kept getting worse. But I'm like, everyone here is bad.
Yeah, everyone's bad, but like, yeah, man, just like I said, I think we all can agree that we all pretty much recommend it. But at the same time, just don't lose your, don't start thinking like, oh, because I'm liking this show, I like this person, because I felt myself doing that, and I feel myself doing that for movies. But
look, it depends on what you get to the end of it. At first, it can get you liking Joe Exotic, but if you like him at the end of it, you miss the fucking show.
Yeah, there's a certain point that you miss, and you let like the perspective of whatever the story's being told kind of fuck with your head. But then again, I'm not gonna judge y'all. Just don't tell me that you feel that way. But yeah, man, that's it. Tiger King. I definitely recommend watching it, and at the same time too, like any documentaries these people have worked on, When They See Us, Fire, not the Fire Festival show that's on Hulu. I think that's probably
people liked it, but it wasn't as good as the Netflix one.
Yeah, the people who any kind of Netflix documentary that's come out last year, they have been doing such a good job at just a production value. This reminds me a lot of how I really loved Don't Fuck with Cats, because they put something on there that is very emotional, it's very fucked up, makes you feel like shit, but yet it's so produced that almost distracts you from what's going on, and it actually makes you kind of dig it a little bit. So. Oh
yeah, they have the great production value. Hell, one of my favorite shows that fucking Netflix canceled, I was so mad, was American Vandal, and it essentially was a I don't want to say a parody, but it was like not even a satire. It was kind of like spoofing the whole documentary style, where it's like they'll just take this like fake crime that happened in a school, but they'll treat it like 100% seriously. Mm-hmm. Like with the first season, it was like this dude, somebody sprayed like a bunch of dicks on like the teacher's car, like 30, 40 cars, and just sprayed a dick on all of them. And this kid who's like this fucking like the typical stoner fucking weedhead gets like accused of it and expelled. And the guy's like, wait, I think he's innocent. And it's just a whole, like, them going and doing this investigative shit, just like you see in any documentary, and they're thinking this dude's innocent. And it's like, it's really fucking well done. There's twists and turns. I highly recommend, if you honestly want a documentary fix, a Fire Festival, American Vandal, Season 1 and Season 2 are fantastic. When They See Us still counts. Like Nick said, Don't Fuck with Cats. Like, there's a lot of good shit if you're on, like, a documentary fix.
Yeah, man, documentary. Oh, I was waiting for you to fuck
fucked that word up. I don't know
the
why.
whole time you did it great. The whole time you didn't make the mistake once, and then at the very end, it's like, we're almost out. Boom. Fuck
documentary.
Here's the thing, though. This is a particular product that you don't have to say documentary for, but yeah, Bad Boys for Life. I was really hyped to see this. I didn't see this because I just didn't get the chance to do so. I was too busy trying to watch Bloodshot, and I didn't.
No, God, why? That movie fucking sucks. But I'll do a review for Bloodshot really quick. It fucking sucks.
And there you go. But here's the thing, though, with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith coming back together, I will say there's times where I look at this. I remember the first time we saw this, we were actually driving to Orlando, and I saw this trailer and literally on the road, and I was like, God, that's fucking terrible. But I looked back, and you were like, dude, that's awful. Ganja was like, I'm sick. But
Yeah, I guess it was some dumb shit. That's like I was like, it's kind of funny, but it was a bad trailer. I stand by it. That trailer was fucking terrible.
yeah, man, I hated this trailer, but I gotta tell you, dude, so many people say so many good things about this, and I love Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. They have a certain chemistry that you can't really equate quality when they're together to a writer producer, because these guys can just be in a room talking and they can make it funny or make it entertaining at least. So yeah, man, go ahead and tell us, like, how'd you feel about Bad Boys for Life?
So when I first saw the trailer, one of the things that really bothered me was Martin Lawrence. It seemed like I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what was going on with his voice. It seemed like he didn't want to be there. And the trailer sold it as like a buddy cop, like this is Rush Hour 3 type shit. And I was expecting some bullshit, and I was like, well, fuck it, maybe at least the action scenes are good. I'll enjoy it. But as I was watching the movie, I'm like, oh, the worst joke, which is the, hey, we're cops, but we're also black, we'll arrest ourselves. I'm like, that joke wasn't particularly funny. I was like, in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, you're just getting rid of that bullshit in the trailer right away. Cool. And I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm liking the chemistry between Will Smith. I think Will Smith feels like this is the first time in like fucking 5 years he's actually trying in a movie. Where he's not just trying to be like, oh, I'm the coolest guy in the world, or oh, I'm so deep and emotional. He's just playing this character that he clearly likes to play. And it does feel like a bit of a French Prince, but it feels like it's going back to just him playing people that he likes. And as I was going through, I'm like, the action shot really well. The comedy doesn't always land, but when it misses, it's not like Michael Bay, who his comedy, when it misses, it's the worst in the world. Where this is like, okay, it just wasn't funny, moving on. They don't linger on a joke. They move on really quickly to the next scene. When they have a serious scene, it works out really well. And it's bloody, it's dark as hell. They kill characters off. They do things like at times people are getting shot, and I'm like, this is really dark and brutal. And they're able to do really good stuff with action. Dude, there's like straight up action scenes. I'm like, did you guys are really inspired by Hard Boiled? Because there's some Hard Boiled shit happening in some of these action scenes. But I liked how the characters were. Everyone felt like they actually want to be here. It didn't feel like, whoa, we got to make a movie. It's not like, you guys want to do this? And everyone in the movie felt like they're having a good time. This to me felt like a better version of Men in Black 3, where Men in Black 3 felt like they had to make a movie. This felt like they wanted to. Like the writer felt like, hey, I want to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to do a lot of callbacks to the other movies, but I'm also just going to do a lot of my own stuff. And actually have these characters acknowledge that 20 years has passed and what that means to their friendship and their job.
That Martin Lawrence getting fat.
Yeah, and they don't play it up as, oh, he's slow. He's still he's still good at his job, but he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'm kind of done with this shit. But at the end of it, the action scenes are what really sell it, because I don't like Bad Boys either one or two. I think both those movies are just not that good.
Oh, really?
I think Bad Boys 2 would have been good if it was done by a better director. They got a better director. Holy shit. Because the action scenes are fucking stupendous. Dude, there are some action scenes that I'm like, yo, man, y'all really like Terminator 2. Like,
there's you won me over now, dude.
Dude, I swear to fucking God, there's a helicopter scene. Like, you're going to watch this movie and be like, this is just Terminator 2 in this fucking movie. Like, it is nuts. But, like, I was like, well, that's the best one. They're not going to have another one. No. Every action scene they have in this movie is meticulously crafted, really well done, and it just keeps going and going. And it's like, wow, there's some of my favorite action scenes of the year are in this movie. Some of my favorite lines of dialogue in this movie, of the year are in this movie. Like, there are some really dark jokes, like dark jokes. I'm kind of like, I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's really funny, but it's also really dark. And I'm like, there's a scene where, oh my God, I almost want to spoil this, but I don't want to, because I want to. Like, there's a scene for people that watch the movie. There's a scene with a car that I'm like, this is really dark, but really funny at the same time. But yeah, they're able to balance everything in this movie really well. But yeah, not every comedy bit lands, but most do. And it's like, the ones that do really hit, the ones that don't, I'm like, okay, you can kind of move on. But they're able to make it up in some way. If the joke didn't work, they have a moment of somber or darkness that really makes up for it. Or they have a cool action scene or consequences of actions in this movie, which they don't really ever in the other Bad Boys movies.
Yeah, man. No, I really want to see this. I'm really glad that you liked it. And then you saying that this reminds you of certain scenes like Terminator 2. I'm like, holy fuck, like this is gonna win me over big time.
Dude, I'm remembering like Equilibrium. I'm remembering fucking Hard Boiled and Terminator 2 and like John Wick shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, man. But out of 5 though, what would you give a movie like this at this particular time, man?
4 out of 5. I think this is a movie where I had low expectations because of the trailer, and the trailer sold a movie that this clearly wasn't. because the movie showed like a comedy action, where this is more of an action comedy. You know, there's more action. It's really bloody. Like the trailer does not show how bloody this fucking movie is. Like when people get shot, they're covered in blood like a second later. Like this isn't it's one little blood. Like those shirts are drenched. They're drenched in blood. So it's like, it's definitely like don't go into expecting the trailer. It is a way better movie than that. But yeah, 4 out of 5 because I went back and just rewatched some certain scenes, action scenes, because I fucking loved it.
So here's the biggest thing, man, and yeah, I'm definitely checking it out soon, and I might skip over Bloodshot.
Dude, Bloodshot has one half decent action scene that lasts a minute and it's near the end. And I say half decent because the CG is really bad, but I'm like, I watch CW shows. I'm used to bad CG. Like, honestly, even if Bad Boys for Life is like 20 minutes longer, it's way better.
So usually you and I are called the fun police and whatnot, but I gotta tell you, man, we already said something nice about Tiger King, said something nice about good old Bad Boys for Life. So obviously we never ever do 3 strikes with the happiness stuff. We never do anything that's good.
Okay, let me find something to hate.
But here's the thing, people. That's 3. This is the first time this has happened. Resident Evil 3. Oh my fucking god, this game.
I can't believe you like it.
All right, so I beat it twice and I'm still playing it.
Yep, me too. I didn't beat it twice yet, but I beat it once, and I've already played a fuck ton of the Resident Evil.
Oh man, the speed run. You got to get some upgrades to do a speed run though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because legit, I'm trying to go for it, and the fastest I was able to do it, like pure nothing bought from the shops, 2 hours, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's about this, bro. That's about what I've seen in the speed runs.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're supposed to get under 2 if you want to get like a good amount of points.
So the biggest thing to bring up here is, look, and like I've done this with Marvel Infinity War. I've done this with Black Panther. Okay. I was wrong. No, I like those. I had to admit I was wrong. You know,
Austin, I didn't run through the fire, but I did die the first counter because the game didn't tell me how to sprint.
Oh yeah,
so I was waiting for the prompt to be like, "Yo, start running, bro." I never got it, so a zombie got me in the early section when you're naturally hurt, and I died right away.
Yeah, man. But here's the biggest thing about this. So like, right away, I was wrong not only for the quality, but we'll get into that in a minute. But like, I was wrong about certain things, saying like, "Hey, they took away this fucking thing. What the fuck?" And I'm gonna put it out there. Alan was right. Does that sound good, Alan?
Yeah. What am I right about?
You're right about this one thing where you basically told me like, "Hey, man, don't get so mad about the mercenaries being gone. They're probably just gonna give it a different name and revamp it. Modernize it." Blah blah, and that's essentially what they did. Because what Ganja's alluding to right now in the beginning, which I'm very glad you brought that up, Ganja, is that replayability is one of the main things. Like as far as like rating systems go, replayability is like 40% of my entire rating, because I don't want to buy the game and then treat it like it's a fucking movie theatrical release where I never talk about it again. I just wasted $25. I don't like doing that. I like to play it forever. You know what I mean? And this game, you just heard Ganja. He's played it twice. You know what I mean? Like this game. So basically, after you beat,
I'm doing another run right now. I'm trying to get under 2 hours.
Yeah, man. So after you beat the game, it opens up a store mode, which is basically what Mercenaries had. That's why I love the fucking Mercenaries thing that I love so very much.
But they kind of took away.
They did, but like the gameplay.
I feel like it's gonna be a DLC, honestly.
No. That's the thing. Like Resistance is that.
Okay.
Because Resistance, basically, you walk around, you have a timed meter to kill so many enemies, and then someone keeps throwing enemies at you, and that's literally what Resident Evil 3 Mercenaries was. I know Resident Evil 2 Mercenaries is different, and RE4...
Resident Evil 6 have Mercenaries as well?
Wait, which ones?
It was 6. They had a mercenary mode.
Yeah, it had that too. And the cool thing about Resident Evil 6 that this game took is that what it does is everything you kill, is constantly counting your kills and the things you do, right, and how good you're playing. And it counts those up and gives you points that can be used monetarily to buy the upgrades that Mercenaries would allow you to do back in the original Resident Evil 3. Mm-hmm. So the thing that I was mad about as far as replayability and being able to actually go in there and play these games...
So would you say they added more because they made it a multiplayer element?
No, because even a single player, like you said, that's why you're trying to beat the game faster, is because it gives you the shit. Like, it tells you, like, hey, man, we'll give you 10,600 points if you beat this within 2 hours. We'll give you, every time you kill a 200 increment of zombies... it gives you points for that. So, I mean, it goes all the way up to 1,400 points, because you got 1,400 zombies, and within that, you can buy an infinite rocket launcher and use it for any difficulty of the mode so you can get all the trophies. Like, this game is rewarding you for spending time with it. It wants you to play it. It wants you to go through it multiple times and catch all the secrets and unlock all the lockers. This game has so much backtracking, but it's never like a chore to backtrack. And the puzzles, there's only 3 puzzles in the game. Fuck yeah. Like,
it did seem like they're going for more, especially in the beta, it seems like they're going for more linear aspect. And I was like, oh, that probably explains why the game's a little bit shorter. because I was like looking at the time to beat. It's like 6 to 8 hours, and it's like fucking RE2 was fucking 10 to 13. But how much of that is trying to figure out the stupid fucking puzzles in that game?
It's just puzzles.
Yeah, I was like, the fucking puzzles are ridiculously dumb in that game. And this is somebody that grew up on the Legend of Zelda series, so I know both good and bad puzzles.
Yeah, man, and like the Nemesis.
We were almost there. We were almost to a show where he did not mention Zelda.
Yeah,
every fucking show.
Oh, Zelda's a good franchise. Always mentioned, I will say.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god, David Lee, make a good post for once.
But the zombies, man, respawning zombies, and then like the Lost Plaga zombies that Nemesis is adding to like their heads and shit, making them like fucking all alien looking shit.
Oh god, we brought that back. That fucking RE5 shit.
Yeah, it's a little stupid, but I think it's cool the way they did it, and it's not too annoying. It's not like they're, you shoot them off and then they go chase your leg, and then you got to, it's not some dumb shit like that. Because RE4 did that too, and it was really annoying. Especially when they all have knives. Like, why would a little alien spider creature coming out of your head would have a knife? That's fucking dumb.
It's fucking weird.
But yeah, man, like they added that and made it in a way where it's not annoying. Nemesis himself is the best fucking villain ever in video games. This fucking dude, like, he doesn't stop, right? Like, and by the way, I remember back in the day people talking about the PS1 version saying Resident Evil.
I hate him more than Tyrant.
Like you hate him in a sense like he's.
Oh no, like he scares the shit out of me more.
Yeah, way more. Because here's the thing. Finally, people, this is literally like, this is exact. I'm not like exaggerating. Nemesis does not stop. He does not fucking stop. In the first PS1 game.
Is he a machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, are you fucking with me?
I was trying to go with the Terminator joke.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But no, man. Like with the original PS1 game, Nemesis would not stop for a little bit. And then when you get to a certain part in the story, obviously he leaves you alone because he doesn't want to interrupt like the shit you're about to do and what cutscene you're about to trigger. And here, doesn't matter what cutscene, whatever. He's jumping on buildings that are not even like accessible in your particular room, just to chase you to another fucking area. He literally does not stop. And the cool thing is, you would think, like, well, Mr. X doesn't stop, so why didn't you like that, Nick? Well, because you waste a bunch of bullets, you get nothing for it, and then he just does some stupid animation when you shoot him in the head once. It's fucking dumb. This one, you get rewarded for fighting Nemesis. And he does actually, like, suck in the bullets or whatever, and he gets stopped for like 20 seconds at a time. And it makes sense to combat him. You're rewarded for playing with Nemesis. So I thought that was a really, really cool idea, too. But Ganja, like, how long did it take you to know that you love this fucking game? Because I know that in the beginning you were kind of like,
It took the next morning when I actually started playing it, and I realized, wait, this game's actually rewarding me for doing combat.
Yeah. Especially
and I like the feeling of getting a critical hit when the head pops off, or you hit them directly in the chest and they just fall out dead. Mm-hmm. It feels rewarding, and it doesn't happen that often that I feel like, oh, well, now I just got to line up the shot perfect, bam, and it becomes surgical. There's still a risk factor. I'm learning how to do the dodge. I learned there's a dodge mechanic recently. The biggest problem with this is the game. Do the tutorial. If you're a dumbass like me and think it's just like Resident Evil 2, it's not. There's also a lot of mechanics that they changed up and they added. I didn't know the dodge mechanic there. Also, if you get a perfect dodge, you actually get a chance to do like a slow time and aim your gun and get perfect shots for like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it rewards you for timing your dodges perfect.
Yeah, if you're actually good at games, this game will like. The thing I complain about Resident Evil 2.
But then how did you get through it, Nick?
Haha. No,
he
Resident
modded.
Evil 2. I think one thing with Resident Evil 2 is like I used to say this all the time, like, hey, if you're good at NFL Madden, you'll be great at Resident Evil 2 because it's a football game. These zombies just kind of, you're in small hallways and they always grab you and you just gotta do this stupid little thrusty whatever the fuck thing. It's annoying. But with Resident Evil 3, it's like, no, if you're good at like quick time events or quick time like, just like looking at the zombie's body, he's gonna grab me right now, so let me press this button. You will dodge him, and you don't have to waste bullets. I can see this game being on the hardest difficulty, and you could probably beat it without opening the storage box, because they literally gave you like a control that allows you to dodge people and not have some weird funky little tank like fucking.
Well, not only that, like it adds. So I'm playing the game through my second playthrough now. Trying to do I'm trying to get under 2 hours. I'm trying to go for it. I don't realistically think I'm going to get it. But what I'm also doing is I'm playing with the mechanics as you add extra items to see how it is and how faster you can move in the game. So I'm also testing the water. So I'm not actually like 100% like, oh, if I don't get there in 32 seconds and 25 seconds, I'm going to have to fucking restart the game. I'm not doing that shit yet. Mm-hmm. But I am seeing how the map works, trying to remember the layout. The game is very linear. I will give it that. But I feel like the linear adds on to the play experience. I'm hoping through DLC, there's I think they're talking about 2 DLCs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm hoping there's a story DLC. We're definitely going to get Hank. or Honk. I don't know how people pronounce
It's
it.
Hank.
Honk.
I've heard people look at me
No,
and
it's
told me
Honk.
like, "Yo, that's Honk."
The fucking
yeah,
Goose game DLC.
It's Hunk, not Hank or Honk.
Yeah. So it's one of those weird names, but like you got to add that because he's the main character in this one, same as Resident Evil 2. The biggest part is I would like to see a little bit of a kind of a mercenary added to it, even if it's the different characters running to different parts of the maps with certain areas added onto it. Because what I noticed with the at one section, can I spoil a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're kind of spoiling it right now. Some of the
Austin.
preview you did.
But
But
not spoiling story, you could probably spoil a sequence.
it's a map. Fuck you, Austin. Resident Honk. But one of the things that I noticed is with when they added the what is it called? The Raccoon City Police Department, there were certain levels that were closed off, but the main levels were still the same layouts of the other games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind something like that, like say like, oh, they just reused the layout from the lab in the second one. That way it saves on development time and they can add more enemies or different weapons towards that map that you get to play in the main game. Honestly, I think this game has a lot of fun and replayability. I like that it changed a lot of things. The final battle with Nemesis is 100% redone.
Yeah.
A lot of the elements in the game are totally changed. There's a few things to heart that everyone remembers from the Resident Evil series that they had to add, similar to the trucker like crashing his car because he got bit. You know, there's little things you have to add because if you really want to say it's a remake or a reboot, you got to have those kind of callbacks. But honestly, this game, 100%, you can play without having to play the originals.
The one thing I really like about this too is like there's certain characters that I feel like they redid. It sounds like Brad Vickers, you know, his whole story changed a little
Oh, he's
bit.
a punk bitch.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, like, there's
Yeah,
other
you read
characters.
Oh no, that's spoiler shit. Go ahead.
Yeah. But like no, one of the biggest things too though is like especially when you go into the old Resident Evil 2 building, the RPD police station, there's certain things that are happening within there that I'm kind of like, okay, you guys gave us enough information where I'm like, yeah, like you can have many stories happen within this place because now they're alluding to things that kind of connect to Outbreak in a sense too. So I'm like, dude, bring fucking Outbreak. Another thing too is like, you know, being able to play these two characters. So like in Resident Evil 2, you get to play as Leon and Claire. And I feel like here they did that way better because instead of trying to choose one of these two stories, that now it's like you have to have a question of like, okay, what's the real story then? You know what I mean? With this one, it's like no, they say, hey, you're playing this person. Well, we're sick of that, so why don't you play this other person now? And it changes where it's like the story, even though there would be a lull in the story and it'd be kind of like boring. Well, you get to play as somebody else, and I feel like that really helps this game make you want to keep playing because the story just freshes up like within 30 minutes. You're like, oh shit, I'm somebody else. What the fuck? That's super cool. God damn, man, like the DLC, there's so many things you can add for the DLC, man. You're talking about Mercenaries mode, but I'm like, dude, I wouldn't mind playing like a story about one of these Umbrella Corps guys.
No, we're not doing Umbrella Corps again. We tried that last time. It didn't work out.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Resistance is basically that. And my god, dude, I love Resistance so fucking much. This mode for Resident Evil is so cool. So basically, I didn't know this, but when you're playing the game, you get to level up like whatever type of character you're using, which is super cool. It gives you a bunch of like certain points to use to kind of better your abilities to fuck other people over. And I've had no online issues playing this at all. Matthew's saying Resident Evil Resistance is going to be free to play soon. I feel like it is. I think it's so good. I can imagine this being the thing that Sony says, hey, come to us because we got this free to play thing and it's better than what fucking the Ubisoft server has or Epic Games or whatever the fuck. I strongly love the Resistance fucking thing. But how about you, Ganja? Have you played the Resistance yet, and what do you think about it?
No, I haven't. I'm waiting for Alan to buy the game because I'm hoping he buys it on PC so I can play with him.
Well,
because
if I were to get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna like you guys are selling me on this, but like I don't know, man. I played that beta. Yeah, I'm sorry. I played that game. Hey, if there's a Legend of Zelda fucking skin, then maybe I play it.
You little cocksucker.
I'm kidding. No, I didn't fucking buy fucking Soul Calibur 5 and they had Ezio in there. You think I'm gonna fucking get a game that I don't like because of fucking skin?
I don't know. They have some pretty cool skins.
No, literally, I just said I didn't buy fucking what you call it, that fucking 5th game because Ezio's in it.
Yeah. But no, man, I feel like you would like this game. I mean, dude, if you get on PC, I swear, I love this game so much. I would like to put my fucking money where my mouth is. I would buy this game again on Steam to fucking play it. Not soon, but I will. Because I love this so much. It's worth it. It's, swear to God, it's so fucking worth it. And yeah, people are talking about how short the game is. I feel like that's a good thing because with Resident Evil 2 meanders, man. Like I beat that game with the codes on, and it's a short game because it meanders this fucking puzzle point where I'm like, if you know where everything is, there's no game to play.
Yeah, because you do that when you immediately fucking play Claire's thing, and you can do it in half the time. Like this idea of length is so relative, and I feel like people don't understand because people were talking.
I bet you say that to your girlfriends too.
Oh, that's great. Go ahead, Alan.
Look, fuck you, man.
Length is relative. That's a great my dick small fucking defense. Look, it's relative, okay?
No, because a lot of those people were complaining about in other games where it's like, oh yeah, Spider-Man, it's only 20 hours. I'm like, yeah, length is completely relative to what you're actually doing in the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, is Resident Evil 2 twice as long? Sure, but it's fucking boring as hell. Ridiculously dull to the extent where I just wasn't having fun. I was just beating it just so I could fucking say it's over. I was just like, fuck it, just so people yell at me. Well, I beat the fucking game. This game fucking sucks. Where at least if it's a linear first-person shooter or third-person shooter, and that's actually a lot of fun, even if it's fucking short, yeah, you can fucking play it again multiple times if it's fun as hell. I mean, there's been games where I've beaten 3 or 4 times. Like Wolfenstein 2, I've beaten. I'm going through another fucking playthrough of that game. That game is short as hell. Yeah, it's not as long as fucking other games like Fallout. Yeah, Fallout fucking 4. You get 100 hours in there. That game fucking sucks. I can get at most 15 hours out of Wolfenstein 2, and I'll fucking play it again.
Yeah, man. But yeah, there's just so many things about this too. Even with the character Nemesis too, it turns into damn near a Bloodborne boss. And I love the idea of wow, they have a Dark Souls type fucking monster in the game where it takes up almost a quarter of a mile of space at a certain point. And it doesn't feel like I'm cramped up. There's run around room. There's actually a match going on. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Also too, the game makes fun of itself. You know, it actually made fun of itself for the stupid ass flash drive thingy.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
The thing I've been calling out for 2 years now?
Yeah, Carlos goes up to a spot and he's just like, flash drive, what the fuck? Why would he do this? And then he makes fun of a puzzle that's in the shower thing where you gotta blow up a fucking thing. They explain certain things in a police station where zombies are kind of hanging from something or whatever the fuck. Yeah, they explain things that Resident Evil 2 did not explain, which is cool. I'm not expecting Resident Evil 2 to do that much explaining. But this game's no, it came up, the story is happening before part 2, so let's kind of give reasons for what's going on.
It feels like what they're trying to do is they're essentially doing a soft reboot of the series, and they're fixing the problems. Because one of the issues that I always heard from Resident Evil fans is the timeline for this shit is confusing as fuck, because they kind of just made it up as per game. Mm-hmm. Where they're like, oh yeah, Resident Evil 3 happened, but then this is a prequel and all this shit. But it's wait, how did this happen in this timeline with this amount of time happening? Who cares? Play the next fucking Resident Evil. Where with this, it's yeah, we kind of know the basic formula or how the timeline for how Raccoon City went from a decent city to shit. Mm-hmm. So let's figure out and try to actually tell a meticulously well done story. I won't be surprised if the fucking next one is either is Umbrella Chronicles or just some other game that takes place around this time.
Yeah, no, they need to stick with the city. I think Outbreak, and they allude to it, I think Outbreak needs to be the next thing they're touching on. As far as these remakes go, obviously this trilogy is going to be, kind of ignored when we get to Resident Evil 8, and they're going in a completely different direction with that.
It feels like that's what they're going to do, because when they did Resident Evil 7, people liked it, but didn't get the groundswell that these 2 remakes are getting. All they got to do is be hey, fuck it, here's Chris Redfield and Resident Evil 8 in a new area with the same engine and combat system, and people probably would love it.
BD,
what the
I've been
fuck
looking
is
in
your
the
name?
podcast section on Twitch, and for some reason they have the name.
BD. I'm just calling you BD. Fuck it. I'm not going to pronounce the rest of your fucking bashing my face on my keyboard name.
I love it. I love that name. It's fucking one of my favorite ones. But yeah, no, someone else, I think it was Darkslayer, he was talking about the fact that, hey man, thanks for putting a positive spin on it, and he's taking his time. Dude, don't even take your time. I know that you want to enjoy the story, and that's cool, but this game is so replayable, and it rewards you for constantly playing this and playing it quickly. So, dude, don't feel like you're being taken away from, oh, I want to just enjoy this fucking thing. Because I feel like that, too. I was kind of bummed when the game ended, and I was like, oh, man, it's over. My whole experience is over. And now, I have unlimited experience to be having, because that fucking store mode and the shit that they're going to be rewarding me for doing, this game is not going to get old at all anytime soon. I'm going to be playing the absolute fuck out. I can't wait to end this so we can go play. I'm so fucking loving this. And trust me, I kind of wanted to hate it because I kept saying it was going to suck for so long. I'm saying this against my own will, guys, because I talked a lot of shit before this came out. Alan, Jet, and Ganja called me out on it constantly.
I mean, shit, I was joining you, honestly.
That's because you suck ass.
I'm sorry, but like even you guys saying right now is almost selling me on it. I'm not gonna go out and spend like fucking $80 on something I might not like, even if I could return it in 2 hours. Like that the beta was supposed to be like, am I gonna get this game? And the beta to me was like, okay, you made it a little bit more of an action-packed fucking RE2, but I hated RE2, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna play RE3.
Yeah, man. Maria said, "Oh, you're gonna play a video game and not pay attention to the meta stream?" No, I will.
You're right.
Maria's like, "No, the
you're
meta stream."
exactly. I'm sorry, but like you guys are gonna like do your early 2000s garbage music and then put a bunch of Simple Plan to piss me the fuck off. I'm still chatting with y'all in the fucking after hours. Just not gonna join the fucking meta stream.
But Devin the Great, Code Veronica would benefit from Maria. Yes, it would, especially
probably.
Claire's story. And plus that place. I mean, I think okay. So Dreamcast, I don't know how capable it was for making a game like that bigger. But I could have sworn Dreamcast was not that insanely powerful. So to pull off,
It wasn't, but it was basically the equivalent of a PS2. No, it was the same generation as the PS2, right?
Yeah, but I remember it came out like 3 years after the PS1, so I don't think it had a lot of like PS2 perfected that era. So obviously Dreamcast can do what PS2 can do, and even Resident Evil 4. I mean, like the eras where you run in, like it was pretty condensed. Like it was pretty small. So like. Code Veronica was trying to do this thing where it was like a big open fucking game. Not like open as far as...
Dude, that game is so confusing because, like, I remember playing it and I'm like, increments? Why the fuck do I have a set number of saves? Well, I guess I'll have to be careful how often I save. But I spent an hour, like, the start of the game looking around. I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? They're like, oh, there's a key behind the helicopter. How the fuck was I supposed to know that?
Yeah, I remember that. And then you had to like read some story of like, hey man, I was over there chilling by the helicopter and I dropped my keys. Like, you know, you gotta read some fucking file.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that? The helicopter exploded. I'm not thinking I'm supposed to go back.
And you know, B&D or BDN, whatever he said, he says, what if they remake of Resident Evil Survivor? To be honest, I know you're joking. It's a terrible game.
I've never even heard of that one.
I think it was one of their first persons, right?
No, that was Dead Aim. But Survivor came out right after Resident Evil 3. It's supposed to be a sequel to Resident Evil 3. The thing is, though, is that game was so bad, but I think, I mean, he's making a point here, is like, I think that can be DLC. All those really shitty Resident Evil games that came out, they can all be DLC now. And that'd be so fucking cool.
It's like I was saying earlier, you now have a chance to retroactively go back and just iron out the details. Because like when they're making these games, I'm sure a lot of these games are made at the same time. They're trying to rush at the groundswell of Resident Evil. They didn't really know what they were going to do in the future, so they kind of just made up as they go along. But now that they know what works and what doesn't, yeah, they can go back and iron out the games that do it. Like, yeah, I don't think they'll do a whole game about that, but I could totally see Code Veronica X being the next one.
Oh yeah,
especially just picking Claire again. Be like, oh yeah, remember Resident Evil 2? You guys like that game? Here's essentially the sequel to it.
Yep, and then Chris Redfield's at the end of that game too, and they have a big meetup. Which, by the way, like Resident Evil 2, like Chris and Claire don't meet up, so it's like do that for these people who want it so bad, and you can do that in Code Veronica. So it's like there's so many things you could do, and I just honestly, my faith is put back in franchise. I didn't like Resident Evil 7. I did not like Resident Evil 2. I'm upset with this franchise because I love Resident Evil so fucking much, but this just put me right back in there, and I cannot fucking wait till the next thing they do. Even if it is like just like Resident Evil 7, like bring it on. Let's see. You know what I mean?
I mean, they need to do something with Chris though. I feel like Chris is like the last main antagonist they haven't done shit with.
Yeah,
like
Chris and
Leon
Barry hasn't showed up yet, and Barry's in this universe. We know that for a fact.
No, they did. Yeah, they did something at least with him in the fucking Resistance or whatever the fuck.
Well, really
Revelations. Yeah.
Oh, Revelations.
Well, did you play the Resident Evil 7 DLC?
Which one?
I never played Resident Evil 7. That was the one that escaped me because I wasn't interested in the first person.
So the DLC, Chris shows up.
Yeah, because he shows up at the end of the game. I didn't play it.
Yeah, he's a member of Umbrella, if I remember correctly. Spoilers for getting us old.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it was 2017 when it came out, so I don't think it's a big
best
deal.
game of the year.
That was a shit year.
No, it wasn't actually. It was a really good year, but that was my favorite game that year.
I'm trying to think what else came out. Fortnite came out. Oh, that's easily the best, huh?
You're the only one here that's played it.
No, I play with my little brother all the time, but it's not for me. That's for new generation. That's what probably my older cousins and my dad felt with
holy
Halo.
Shit, what a stacked year. You want to know what came out in 2017?
Okay, yes, I get them wrong. Fuck off.
No. You okay, Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
You don't like that.
Your dick's hard. Oh.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay, so that's better right away.
The Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild is overrated.
Wolfenstein 2. Nier Automata. Your favorite game of all time, Cuphead.
fuck? Oh, make my fucking
Destiny
point even more
2, Assassin's Creed Origins, Injustice 2.
Sonic Mania, someone said? Fuck that game.
One of my favorite fucking RPGs ever, Divinity Original Sin 2. What else? Oh yeah, you were right. Fortnite, Evil Within 2, which kind of sucked, but I beat it.
Okay, Alan.
We're still going. Hollow Knight on the Switch.
No, that doesn't. No, nope.
What else we got? Forza Motorsport for all the people that actually remember racing games.
See, you're running out. See that face? You're
Little
out.
Nightmares, Arms.
You.
Wait, I'm
fucked
running
up.
out. We Ghost Recon. Oh God.
What was that? What was one of like the first 3 games? Cause now I'm forgetting because it's going too long. What the fuck?
Well, Horizon, Breath of the Wild.
There we go. Breath of the Wild. That game's overrated. I'm sorry.
You're overrated.
That game is fucking overrated. I know you.
You're
guys like
overrated.
the Switch. The
Sorry, you
Switch is a
can't
great
cheat in
console.
it.
The Switch is a great console, but that fucking game meanders around stupid fucking points and doesn't have an attribute system, which is fucking ridiculous.
Oh my
And-
God, the series has never had an attribute system. It doesn't need an attribute system. Most RPGs are garbage with their attribute system
Dude,
anyway.
okay, but dude, if it's an RPG, how do you have an RPG without an attribute system?
Because, by the way, RPGs have changed their quote-unquote attribute system in every fucking decade.
I know, but they
as far as how they want to do
Ever
it.
since Breath of Fire and Final Fantasy for Super Nintendo way back in the day, they've always had that. It's never changed. It's always been that way.
What do you mean it's never
forever.
changed? It always changes. Every fucking game, it changes. Final Fantasy games don't even stay consistent.
No, but they keep the attribute system and the fucking.
No, they
turn-based
don't.
stuff.
They fucking change it up consistently every fucking, almost not every
Name
fucking
one
game.
Name one Final Fantasy that doesn't have turn base.
I can name you 2, 7 and 15.
7 has it.
That's not turn based. That is you activating a special move in a slow motion thing. That's like saying fucking Bayonetta has has fucking turn play when you do your slow motion fucking shit.
Media's like, okay, I'm leaving. No.
Yeah, because he's wrong.
Oh, solid. Oh, fuck you guys. God damn
He
it.
named
Damn it.
Yeah, 14. I forgot about 14.
Okay, I forgot.
Well, there's action time battle, which I'll argue is worse.
Okay, why? Listen, people. I was just trying to make him lose. I didn't think he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Damn it. Fuck.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, all right.
It's not like
fine,
we're arguing
so it's
fighting
fine.
games, or you might have a point.
Anyways, people, here's the thing, though. All right, I like attributes to my video games, and I love Resident Evil 3, which also kind of doesn't have it, but
So
it's still
fuck
a good
you.
game. It's still a
So
great game.
fuck you.
But we're gonna get into the after hours and everything, though, guys. As far as this game goes, yeah, I should fucking give a rating, right? Because I'm gonna be doing this in the edit or whatever. Yeah, like this is a 5 out of 5. You should buy it. Go buy it. Buy it now. Like this is a game that you're gonna keep playing over and over again. And if you don't play it over and over again, the one fucking story mode, it's so good. It's such a crazy, epic fucking story, as well as just kind of creepy in certain ways. But then it's action packed. Yeah, I love this thing, and plus coming up with that fucking multiplayer too, like right away, just that alone, it's worth double what fucking Resident Evil 2 is, and that's not even like an objective or subjective fucking comment. Like that literally is the way it is. So, go get it. Alan, what would you rate this? Oh no, not Alan.
Well,
I'll give honestly, legit, I'll give this a full price.
Thank
This
you.
is a fun ass game. If you're willing to like give it a second and actually give it time and money, honestly, it's even worth it if you don't want to wait for a sell. It's fun as fuck. You have a lot of time on it, your hands. If you're gonna be like quarantined or laid off, you know what's going on with the economy. So just check it out. It's gonna be fun. This is probably the last $60 you'll spend before cash become currency. So go have fun with it.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we agree with this. By the way, too, it's nice when we all agree on things.
Is there anything you
BDN.
hated in the last week to even it out?
Also, go check out Warband. It's early access, but they're constantly updating. Matter of fact, it's got 5 updates that's released 2 to 3 days ago.
God damn it, they keep updating it, man. They did finally fix
Do
the
you-
currency system.
Oh no! You want to sell like 1.0 for like 5
Oh.
months for like a half-ass update?
Oh, gotcha. Ask me how much money I have.
How much money you have?
$200,000,
What?
and I'm making $2,000.
Oh, I thought you meant legit real life flex. What the fuck have you been doing?
What? We're
What
playing.
cocaine are you selling?
Wait, what's this game
Christ.
called again?
And why have
this
you
game
not
just
involved
came
me in your hookup?
Yeah, it's called Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords, and basically what it is take like your typical RTS where it's like, oh, get a bunch of army and fight them, but then they basically teleport you and you actually do like you're actually there in the battles. The combat system is really weird because like it's really good if you're on a horse, but if you're on the ground, your character's so fucking slow. It's fuck it. Well, you guys gotta talk about your game. I'll talk about this for a little bit. The combat system is good and interesting, but I feel like your main character is too slow. It's vast, and this is probably the future of RTSs because you're going into these fights, especially in cities and stuff, And they're straight up doing siege battles and crazy shit like that, where I'm like, there's a lot of love done into this game where it's like, I can't wait. I'm glad this is in early access because next year this will be like the greatest fucking game ever made.
No, dude, this looks really, really cool. Like, I'm not just saying it to be fucking nice. Like, so it's like an RTS, but you get to actually play.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like what they're adding to it, they're gonna add different like towns. So any of the major towns are gonna have different variations of the city layouts.
Yeah.
And they're gonna add their own culture. They're gonna be adding different characters you can actually make friends with. They're gonna add a relationship system. They're gonna add different types of ways you can run your kingdom. There's a shitload of stuff that's going into it, and they already got a bulk of it in the game already.
Yeah,
Man,
this is
see,
like
here's my
shit like
issue.
right now.
So this is what I don't like about Ganja and Alan sometimes. Is like they'll find a game like this that's fun, but then as soon as I get in, I'm addicted on the shit they sold me, and then they fucking leave. You
This
guys
is
get to go
something
to
you're not
rehab.
gonna. This is something you won't like.
It's the buddy we all start doing meth with, and he goes to the plan of like sucking dick and like buying tigers.
I don't know, these guys get like jobs and shit, like selling drugs to fucking children. I'm like, oh, you guys got any more for me?
The thing about this, nigga, is I'm not gonna recommend this for you. And also, there's a lot of people who won't recommend this too because the combat system is ridiculously difficult. Like, it took me hours before I really understood. Like, I'm like 20 hours into this game, but it took me hours to really nail down the combat system. But if there's more than 2 people in front of you, you're dead. You can't fight off more than 2 people. But if you're one-on-one, it takes forever to really kill anybody. But that's because that's why you have a bunch of people on your side. You'll have like 20 people, like actual 20 people on either side. And you'll just charge into fucking battle. And you'll see, sometimes the enemy will scatter. Sometimes they'll have their own tactics. But yeah, it makes it a lot of fun. And I would love to see a game like Stellaris like this, where you're just in a ship and fighting like this fucking big behemoth. Like, I want this to be the future of RTSs because they could totally do a lot of cool shit with this.
Yeah, man. Jed, are you done to play this with me? We can join Ganja and Alan?
Nope.
No.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't
Neither you or Jet will like this. Like, this is one of those things where I can't recommend it
How
to
you
people.
know? How you know what games I like?
I talk to you like all the time and I ask you for recommendations.
Yeah, but how you know I won't like it?
Because I played this game and you're not, and you know what, Jet, buy it and you're not gonna like it. Like, what do you want from me?
But how do you know? How do you know what's good for me?
Because the characters aren't cute.
Because like
Wow,
every
that's
man,
actually
we
really
know
good.
better than what you know yourself.
That's
Isn't
actually-
that how misogyny works, Alan?
The character models are really ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, although Ark had a really ugly character models, like butt ugly character.
Yeah, but you're the first person yet to see it.
Yeah, no. Guys, we need to play Ark again. Anyways, people.
No, we
that's
don't.
that.
I'm
We're gonna fuck out
done.
of
I
here.
retired.
So we will see you guys in the afterwards. Go to Discord, find us on the chat tag, or you guys can go to our Facebook page and find us over there too, where we can post all of our good things, let you guys know how to hang out with us, chill with us, all that good stuff. So with that said, you guys can find Ganja's Twitter at what, Ganja?
Red Ganja Guru, where I post my political opinions, some shit from the chat tag, as well as the other show I'm on, Illuminati podcast on the
Why'd you
Metropolis.
sing it?
Because I got the beat. I got the beat.
He drops the beat. He
Oh,
drops
coming.
the beat on your meat. Alan,
What?
where can you find you?
Nowhere.
Good. Find him in the nowheres, people. We out of here.
Find me on Children of the Show talking shit to David Lee about his stupid fucking poll. Why would you put Chrono Trigger up against Metroid?
That really
What
a
is
good
wrong
question.
with you?
That makes no sense, sir. Not you, Alan, the guy that you're yelling at.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.